Hello, everyone, and greetings from Dubai, where I'm attending COP28. And I'm taking the opportunity while I'm here to meet with two young ladies who are passionate about the climate.
Ashanti Russell is an aspiring marine biologist based in the Bahamas. Her goal is to provide to the people of hurricane-impacted islands, especially the youth, with knowledge and solutions related to climate change. And Muskan Lodi is a passionate climate activist from New Delhi, India. She's a communications professional with a relentless drive to make climate change education accessible through the power of storytelling and advocacy for climate justice.
And I'm meeting with them because we all know this is the future generation that we need to serve now so that they can do the better world that we all need for the future. So, Muskan and Ashanti, thank you so much for joining me. Really delighted to have you here. You two have a lot in common, but you have one particular thing in common that I'm quite excited about, and that is that you are both ambassadors. And not just any ambassadors. You are Max Tabiso Edkins ambassadors, the program that we created in memory and in honor of a colleague of ours from the World Bank. So I would like to start by asking you, Ashanti, what has it meant to you to be an ambassador under this program?
Well, for me, it's firstly been an honor and a privilege to actually be a part of a implementation that has been grounded and crafted really to not just honor but to carry out the legacy of such a dynamic person in this space. It's been a privilege to be able to not just present different engagements that pretty much bolsters what we're trying to do within the space for youth, but to be able to do it alongside fellow passionate young people. It's truly been an honor and a privilege.
Wonderful. What about you, Muskan?
Thank you so much. It has been truly wonderful to see the kind of diversity and inclusion that the program brings, and the sense of bringing local projects to at such a global sort of cohort is something that is very hard to find. And truly, the sense of community that we have found in MTE Climate Ambassadors and even the alumni who are there to support, it's absolutely incredible to be a part of the program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, you have another thing in common. You have both been to COPs before. Tell me, why do you come to the COPs? What do you get out of it? Starting with you, Muskan, this time.
Thank you so much. COPs are essentially important for especially young people. We have been underrepresented at these UN conferences, at these UN spaces, and this is our chance to be to have any kind of representation and to form the sense of community that we get when we reach to these places. And a lot of times, if I mention our friends who are working in the youth climate space, we get to meet them at COP and have that, as I said, sense of community and love and belonging that we experience within the climate space. So COPs have become essentially such a platform where not only are we advocating for young people, but are also forming that community in itself.
Thank you. What about you, Ashanti?
Thank you. So COPs have definitely proven to be a place where we can not only just come together to network and collaborate, but we can come to actually be heard. And I think that's the most dynamic thing that we as young people strive for, because we have platforms, we have advocacy programs, we have implementations we would like to graft and create, but sometimes we don't have that sense of community, we don't have that sense of collaboration within our home spaces, unfortunately. And when we get into these international spaces, we're not only supported, therefore, by our countries in most cases, but we're supported by a host of young people, a host of dynamic organizations and companies and different sectors, and we all see how when we're in this space we come together to strive to actually bolster a problem that is definitely creeping across the globe and impacting us all. So it gives that hope, if anything, that we are willing to come together and at least agree on things that will be for our best interest in the near future.
Thank you so much. I'm going to stay with you. This was an important COP in that it presented a global stock take, which showed that we're not on track. There's been some progress, but we're clearly not on track. Can you share with us, and I'm going to ask you the same question, what worries you the most, but what are you also most hopeful about?
It's a very interesting question. I can definitely say the one thing that does worry me to date, especially considering this, is the level of accessibility and accountability that's being created in these rooms, because we know definitively and for sure that we're not where we need to be and we're not where we had projected to be at this particular point. But I am a firm believer that in adversity there does lie the space for opportunity. So I'm hoping and truly hoping that while we're here for these next few days, we actually take into account that yes, We're not where we plan to be, we're not where we're supposed to be, but we have the opportunity to get there while we're here. If we're willing to be accountable, firstly, if we're willing to acknowledge that, hey, yes, we're not necessarily doing what it is we can do to be better, but if we're honest and open and transparent with each other, we have the opportunity to do better, and by the next COP, hopefully, if not be at our goal, be a whole lot closer to it.
Thank you, Ashante. What about you, Muskan?
Thank you so much. The first ever global stock take, that in itself is something that young people obviously want to contribute to, and there are not many ways to be included in it. And it's very, very important that there are measures wherein countries in itself are able to take youth stock take under global stock take itself. So if I mention, India had mentioned how by 2070 we will be achieving net zero, which is a very far off goal. And these are the considerations, and these are the challenges that we are facing while we are talking about global stock take itself and nationally determined contributions which every country has to give. So I am hopeful for more inclusion of young people, of course, but I am also hopeful that after this global stock take there will be more progress towards inclusion of young people.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching this episode of Talking Development. This is an incredibly important set of days that we're spending here. And here are a couple of quick takeaways from this very illuminating conversation. First and foremost, we need to engage everyone, and we particularly need to engage young people. Young people are the future, they're the future leaders, and we need to bring them in, listen to them, engage them, and equip them through all the various means we can, including what they're asking for, which is transparency, accountability, and inclusion. Number one. Number two, data helps us. So the global stock take, other analysis that shows where are we, where do we need to go, so that we can collectively come together to move forwards and be more ambitious and quicker and more resolute in addressing the issues of climate change. And thirdly, we need to continue to meet. This is powerful to be together. It's great to hear that the COPs are actually meaningful because they bring us together, and when we have a big issue to address that we need to do collectively, there's no other better way to do it than to be together. So thank you for watching. Catch us again on the next episode of Talking Development.